So the whole idea is that these rivets, the cross nuts, not the cross threads, the cross nuts actually goes into these little holes right here, like that. And once you have it in there, you can fasten pretty much anything you want. So the thread on this one is 1/4 by 20, and once you secure it, this crushes and expands. And when it expands, it opens up just like a drywall anchor, but this is actually for sheet metal. And once it expands, you can pretty much fasten anything you want. A 1/4 inch bolt that goes right in here. The good thing about this is that you're not drilling any more additional holes. So you can see along this is like the frame of the van right there. When we put these in, we'll actually expand these and we can insert anything we want. So right now our idea is to put this in here, right? And we're gonna fasten a furring strip across this whole beam right here on the ceiling. And this is gonna allow you to fasten your wood planks, even your cabinets. You can also do the same thing on the side here, and I'll also show a video on that too. But I'll show you a cheat on how to actually use these without using a $60 cross nut tool. It's usually a big tool that looks like a rivet gun that will just crush this and expand it for you. It's a $60 tool, but there's an easy way and an easy hack that we can use. So the hack that we're going to be using is very simple. You're just going to use a bolt like this, but this is not the bolt that we're going to be using. You want a 1/4 inch, about I would say 3 inches, and a bolt like this, but you want a grade 8. So the grade 8 bolts actually look like this. So you can see the difference right there, right? Grade 8, it's a little bit more stronger. The threads are not going to strip as easier, and it won't bend. I did a couple of these already, and I bent a very basic bolt like this within like 3 inserts. You are adding a lot of pressure to this to just get the little cross nut to be squished. So you would get a 1/4 inch 20 cross nut. I would try to find something that's more threaded all the way down to the shaft, but this tip is okay. It is what it is. And then I would actually add a washer, like any type of washer you want, so that when you're screwing this, it'll allow the spacers to expand. What I use for spacers are just pretty much larger nuts. I just add them as much as I can to there, and it's gonna look like this when you're done. I'm just adding spacers to it, nothing amazing. And then after I'm done with the spacer, I add another washer. And then once I'm done with the washer, you can see how my little setup is right now. It's like that, right? So the whole idea is that you're gonna use your impact driver or a wrench or a socket, and you're gonna screw this in. And then when you're doing that, you're gonna be holding one of these nuts. I believe this is like a 14mm nut, and this is a 11mm. And when you do this, let me see. You're gonna screw your cross nut on there. You're gonna fasten your cross nut just a little bit right there, so you can put this right through the hole. So the whole idea is now you're gonna take your 14mm wrench or whatever bolt you want to use, and you're just gonna lock it in right there, right in front of that fender washer or the washer that you're gonna be using. And then once you screw that down, so you're gonna have your impact driver, right? And then you're gonna insert the impact driver like this, and you're just gonna screw it down like so. So I'm gonna show you right here on how we're gonna do this one. So I'm gonna insert it and just back it out. Now you have the cross nut in there. Hope you can see that a little bit better. But the cross nut's in there right now. So you can pretty much fasten anything you want. We didn't do any damage to the actual frame of the car, but these things, once they're in, you're done. But that's a good thing, you know, these are just little holes, so if you make a mistake, it's not really that big a deal. You just continue. So I'll do another one real quick, a little DIY hack. So like I said, you have a grade 8 bolt going through. These nuts are just spacers. I'm just using as spacers, and then I'll be impacting here or screwing it or socket wrenching it right here, tightening the bolt down. And then when I'm doing that, I'm also going to be holding one of these bolts, especially the one right in front of that fender washer right there. Okay, so I'm going to do it again one more time. Sorry about this. This is a little tricky right at the moment. So I'm going to insert it like so. Screw it in. So it's just snug. It's not really tight or anything. I'm going to put my wrench right on here, like that. So I like to actually have one right here. This is one of my next mounting is. You see there's 2 holes. One is like barely fit in it. The other one you can. If it's a little loose, it's not bad, but preferably you want it pretty tight. So this is how it's set up. I'll get my impact driver. I'm gonna do it one more time, okay? So I'm gonna put my impact driver on, my wrench is on, I insert it into the hole like that. And voila. We got our cross nut inserted. So you can see right here, the cross nut's actually flat. There it goes. Now, that's pretty tight right there. Now I'm gonna back it out just a little bit. And voila. We got our cross nut inserted. So you can see right here, the cross nut's actually flattened out. Let me see if I can even, I don't think I can show it to you how the nut looks in the back, but it pretty much got crushed and it flattened out. And now you have something really hard to secure. And like I said, you can just bolt anything you want on here. Right now we're gonna put some furring strips along this beam right here. And then that's gonna be our nailer. And then we can nail our, well, screw in our wall or ceiling, I should say. We're gonna probably use cedar planks and just adhere it right to the furring strips. And before we're gonna do that, actually, we're gonna insulate all of this too. So that's why I'm putting these in here first, so then I know where these are and I can cut the little insulation so it fits right around this rivet right here, the cross nut, I should say. And then we can find these holes once we put the furring strips on over the